All right, good morning. So we started off this morning, had a good team meeting, outlined the keys to victory. Each coordinator gets up and talks about 3 or 4 items that we need to accomplish during the game for this week. And it was a good meeting with the guys. Then we hold off into our meetings, and the guys are really detailed and focused on getting the first and second down plan in today for Tampa Bay. A lot of different circumstances right here with our opponent, like it is every week. They got some good skill players on offense for sure. The defense has been together a while. Created blitzed a lot of last week, and so that's a situation that we're working on offense. Special teams guys, they got a good returner. So there's a lot of set of circumstances that we need to accomplish, in terms of how we go about our business this week to be successful. And that's the biggest item right there we're working on. So guys are looking at themselves and working on their fundamentals and details of their positions with their coaches. We'll do that during individual, and then we'll have a good first and second down. So we have good first and second down run efficiency for practice today. So that's that. In terms of the injury, for Kyler, don't expect him to practice today. We all know it's his hand, and I don't have anything more than that right now. So that's where that is right there. And with that, I will open up to questions.
Has he avoided the IR?
Like I said, we don't have anything more at this time. Not enough information yet.
If Josh Blackwell is the guy who's got to play on Sunday, how important was last season the playing time for him for you to feel comfortable on him moving forward?
Yeah, we're just looking at all of our options, but in terms of with Blackwell himself, in terms of the comment about last year, it's invaluable, right? To be able to be out there and know the position. As we said before, there's a lot of detail to the position, that nickel spot, and he's done a good job in there. He's been a good special teamer for us, and if we go that route, he'll do a nice job.
Terrell Smith be another, or who are those other options if not Josh?
Yeah, I'm not going to divulge the other options right now, but we certainly like what we have.
Matt, when you went back to the tape, what was your evaluation of Chase's effort, especially in the screen blocking game and the run blocking game?
Yeah, we already visited about that. I think it was maybe Sunday after the game or Monday it was, but again, you guys all saw the plays, and again, the perimeter blocking needed to improve for all of us, and we're going to work hard to get that done.
Matt, with Chase Claypool specifically, with the blocking, is that reflective of an inability to block or of poor effort blocking?
I would just say everything comes down to technique. It's about technique, and it's really about when you're blocking the perimeter like that, you have to have good technique, right? And he's displayed good technique in practice on that, and that's why we had him in those positions. But perimeter blocking is all about technique. It's all about your angles, and it's all about your intensity for sure. And it's always about that. And it doesn't matter if you're push cracking on a linebacker or cracking down on somebody inside. That's what it's always about.
You guys had St. Brown inactive. He's known as a very good blocking wide receiver. Is it possible that Claypool would be inactive this week?
So we're looking at all possibilities right now. I'm not going to talk about who's going to be up and down for the game right now, for obvious reasons. But we're looking at all things to make our team better. Who's going to be up and who's going to be down in terms of the active roster.
Last thing on that, Claypool went to the injury tent I think twice. Was injury a factor in how he played Sunday, or did you think he was fine physically?
There was no injury reported.
Matt, you talked Monday about the desire to get Justin activated a little bit more in scramble drill opportunities. What's your coaching directive to him on kind of balancing when to scramble and run and when to scramble and run?
Yeah, I would just say opportunity, right? Just you got to look for the opportunity, and then if it's not there, then you go. If it is there, then you take your shot. So that's just really it. And then when do you do that in practice? You do it when it's there. You can certainly do drills for that, but the best thing to do is when it's there. In team periods, right? And we've done it a couple times in 7-on-7. That's been pretty helpful to do that as well. But we'll continue to work on that.
Was there an example from Sunday that you'd illuminate as a prime, like look at this one, this is where there was an opportunity available?
Yeah, there was a good opportunity, I think, a couple times. I don't know the play numbers, but there was a couple opportunities there that we had that we could have done that. And we all looked at the tape, but there's not always going to be the case. We're always going to have opportunities on the field. we're gonna take our peek down there, and if it's there, we're gonna take the opportunity.
Matt,
You guys
with
have
DJ, those two catches that he had, the play right after when it's like 1st and 8, like he comes off the field, what happened there?
I don't know. I don't know if it was rotation or, I don't know what it was. He just had a big play. And I think he needed the breather. You have to ask him, because I know there's a lot of people on him at that time. He broke through a bunch of tackles and, had 2 big plays in a row. So, maybe needed to blow, maybe it was rotation. I'm not sure on that.
You guys talked about being, physical running team, and you were for much of last season. Thought you struggled on 1st and 10 runs against Green Bay. Was it a little something different that was wrong on each play, or when you guys kind of dove into that, what was the issue?
Yeah, we look at first down efficiency on both sides of the ball. You got to be good on first down. And, I would just say that it comes down to the individual play, what the play design is. It was good, and we got to do a good job of executing the play. Blocking the point of attack is always there. In terms of if it's a perimeter play, we saw some of those things when it was good and it was not so good. And then, but that's always going to be the case. It's about each guy doing his job and doing it physical when it comes to the run game. So that's the line, that's the runners, tight ends, and then the perimeter blocking.
Matt, just to clarify on Gordon, the doctors examined his hand on Monday and they don't know what the issue is, or they do and you just don't want to say what it is?
Yeah, I'm just going to say we don't expect him to practice today, and it's his hand. We know that. So I don't have any more information than that.
Matt, what's the balance gonna be like for Justin in getting DJ more and more involved, but not forcing the ball his way? How does a quarterback have to teeter that line?
Yeah, I mean, you have play design, right? And you have reads, right? And the DJ may be the number 1 read, but if that read's taken away, you got to move to the next progression, right? So you can't, there's other plays that are plays designed that, you're catching and throwing to people right away. But when you're moving the ball down the field, okay, and doing the progression of that, you got to go through your progression. And he might be the number 1 progression. If it's there, boom. If it's not, then you got to progress through your reads.
Matt, there was a conversation on the broadcast about midway through the 3rd quarter about your sideline feeling kind of dead when the defense was out there and the offense was on the bench. Were you happy with the energy level the offense showed? And I'm asking just because of this. During training camp, Justin and the offense talked about needing to kind of manufacture some juice when they're struggling, and that appeared to help them kind of in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, energy really comes down to, what does it come down to? It comes down to executing, right? You get energy from execution. Does that make sense? So execute at a high level, get a lot of energy, right? In defense, big hits and takeaways, that's execution. That's what it takes, right? Big runs, chunk plays, right? That creates energy, right? So we're always going to be positive, upbeat, and those are the guys that are in the locker room. The guys in the locker room have great attitudes. They have, great motivation. That's why they're in the seats they are, right? They're all tough, right? So we got to make sure that if we execute, right, we're going to have great energy, right? Because it's play after play after play. Is the other team going to make a play? Yeah, you got to reset and then go execute, and that's where that energy comes from.
How do you feel about bringing more pressure to try to get to Baker Mayfield? You guys didn't get to Jordan Love nearly enough, and I know you're multiple, but a lot of teams in that Tampa 2 family tree like to rush with 4 and cover with 7. Like philosophically, do you guys have to consider moving off of that thinking a little bit?
Yeah, I think week to week we do what we think is the best, to affect the quarterback, and that certainly could be the case this week, and we'll see where it goes. But I do know that affecting the quarterback is the process that we want to get done. I don't think we did it well enough last week, and going forward we need to get that done.
Matt, after watching the tape on the Justin Fields sack by Lucas Van Ness, I know you talked about him throwing the ball away, but ideally, what is that play supposed to look like when it's all executed properly?
Yeah, so that was an option, be able to hand it off, okay, or pull it, and then have that read on the outside. And then once we're in that situation where he did pull it, and the read on the outside's covered, and you just got to throw it out. He knows that. I think we talked about that Monday, maybe.
You spoke about wanting to get more shots downfield. Is that a schematic thing or is that an execution thing on the field?
I don't think it's a schematic thing. I just think it's, when you're taking your shot down the field on a 50-50 ball, you gotta let it ride, and if the guy's really high on top of the guy, which I think was the case a couple times, So then it's just the discernment of the quarterback. If he's real high on him, then you just go ahead and go to your next read, right? But we certainly have some guys that can get some 50-50 balls. So if you feel that feel good about where the location is of the corner, we're gonna go up and send it up.
Do
Is
you
that
have to
something, is that something
encourage
you're
more
preaching?
guys,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, is that something you're preaching to Justin Fields this week? Looking for those shots downfield more?
Yeah, that's just all part of the read. When we're talking about taking shots down the field, that's just how you read it, and it's always, we're always coaching that.
How much is that anticipating where the
Last one.
receiver's gonna be and maybe him hesitating a bit and throwing not in anticipation, or is it that not an issue at all?
It's the rhythm and timing of the passing game is what we're searching for, right? And it's the receivers, right? It's the quarterback, right? It's the line and protection, right? To be able to have that rhythm and timing of the passing game. So it's all involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.